I remember speaking to the lender, and we worked out the whole situation.
You would do that, right? Because you're a responsible, intelligent woman.
Well, that's kind.
Right?
Hi, everyone. You're watching the Light of Care podcast on YouTube or listening to us and watching us on Spotify. This podcast is about our company, FirstLight Home Care of San Francisco and the Peninsula. Our goal is to provide comfort, company, and respite care to elders in need. This podcast aims to educate seniors and their families about the resources and support available to help them live well and age with confidence. I'm your host, Lynn Carteris, and today we're joined by Laura Biche, a reverse mortgage specialist and senior mortgage planning expert who helps seniors access financial options that support independence, reduce stress, and improve quality of life. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you, Lynn. I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Well, so first and foremost, I want to ask you about how you got into this business.
I have been in the mortgage industry for over 30 years. I got into it by accident. I had a mortgage broker who did a refinance on a condo my husband and I owned, and then did our mortgage when we purchased a home and refinanced our home for us. I am the mother of two amazing children. At the time, they were little, and I was pretty much a stay-at-home mom. My mortgage broker said, "Laura, you should do this." And I said, "Okay." So I got my mortgage license in 1994. I've been kind of in the industry since 1991 with the mortgage broker at the time. In 1999, I got my senior real estate specialist designation and started looking into reverse mortgages.
A lot of people have heard about reverse mortgages, but aren't really sure what that is. So in the simplest of mortgage-ease terms, do your best to try and explain what it actually is so that the everyday person will understand what this is.
A reverse mortgage is a number of things, but in the simplest of forms, from the mortgage standpoint, it is a cash flow tool. The intent of the reverse mortgage is to free up the equity that's locked into a home. And to free that equity up in the form of cash, we call it liquidity, so that the homeowner has the opportunity to use that equity to make their life better.
Are there a variety of different reverse mortgages? Are they all basically the same? And then what are the misconceptions of that? And if they're not all the same, what are the misconceptions?
There are, I talk about it as kind of an umbrella. So there is an umbrella reverse mortgage world under the huge big mortgage umbrella. Under that reverse mortgage umbrella are two areas. So we have the typical, better known FHA umbrella. And those loans have been called HECMs, strange term, but it's a home equity conversion mortgage. We're converting the equity in their home into cash so that the homeowner can live life better. On the other side is what we call the proprietary, or generally we call them jumbo reverse mortgages. So very similar to the forward world, what I call the forward world, forward and reverse world. And so that we have those two different arenas. If you own your home, and the term in the industry is vested, if the home is vested in your name, your trust, whatever, it's the same thing in the reverse world. The bank does not own your home ever.
That's a big misconception.
It's a huge misconception, and it scares people, although I'm not really sure why. But you own your home.
Explain how you get one, which is basically the same as a regular loan, but how you set it up, how you base the equity versus how much they can take out. I want some details on that.
The process of getting a reverse mortgage is similar to that of getting a forward or conventional mortgage. It entails less paperwork, and we have some amount of flexibility in the paperwork. We do need to verify the income coming in, but that's easy to do. Social Security, you can go online and get an awards letter. You don't have to go through a file and find it. I think that's a nice thing. The other really cool thing I think about reverse mortgages is that we have the opportunity to do this thing called dissipating the asset. And that's just a fancy way of saying, depending on the loan amount you get in the reverse mortgage, you can actually use that income or that source to qualify for the financial assessment.
So you go through all the paperwork, you get your loan, you start earning the whatever amount you agree on with the lender, and then the owners pass, and then the kids are taking care of the house.
Right.
And then what happens?
The estate, we call it the estate, whoever is in charge of dispersing assets, the estate, whatever, decides what they want to do with the property. And there are three different options. The estate can refinance the property and pay off the reverse mortgage. They can come in with cash and pay off the reverse mortgage. Or they can sell the property. And selling the property is what happens in most of the cases.
As a senior mortgage planning specialist, why would you encourage people to do this?
The biggest thing I think is peace of mind. And taking care of parents. I have to tell you that myth about my children wouldn't want me to get a reverse mortgage. I am so grateful, and I have been so blessed to work with so many children that really wanted what was best for their parents. And I have never run into a child who said, oh my gosh, I don't want my mom or dad to get this because then I'm not going to get an inheritance, which I think is a really skunky attitude.
There's so many scams out there. How should families, how can they be aware of that, and how can they explore mortgage options, and who should they use?
Actually, in anything in life, it's all about the relationship. And it's about establishing the rapport. It's about establishing the conversation and talking to somebody and getting a feel for them. I know a lot of people also go online and, look up reputation or whatever. One of the things that really annoys me, if you will, in our industry, and I deal with a lot, is I just had a conversation with a client yesterday about this, but a lot of us to market send out letters, right? And in those letters it says, you have a reverse mortgage, but we can get you more money. Well, not necessarily. We're very controlled in our industry in terms of what we call churning loans. You can't just refinance a reverse mortgage every other week.
I'm going to recommend anybody interested in getting a reverse mortgage, contact Laura. And how do they do that?
My phone number is 650-922-0824. And my email address is Laura, Laura, at Biche, be like boy, ICHE.com.
They definitely have made really good changes to this program and made it even better, and I would highly recommend. Anyway, I obviously very much appreciate you being here. We've got more interviews on the way. For now, a huge thank you to my team involved in bringing this podcast to life. For more information, check out our website at thepeninsula.firstlighthomecare.com. Please follow us on our social media pages. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.